gentlemen, I just have word that we have another celebrity in the audience. He is a very popular actor from Los Angeles, California. He's a friend of Richie Chiafetti's, Mr. Michael Brandon. Please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, the commotion in the audience is caused by a man who caused the commotion last week in Dallas. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Hollywood. And I have the maintenance man to ringside. The maintenance man to ringside, please.
Tonight's championship boxing is being brought to you by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. We're awaiting the arrival into the ring now of Sugar Ray Leonard. He's been gloved. He's being robed. He's worked a little bit in the dressing room. There is some perspiration on the body. He is a composed young man. He seems confident. There is no bluster, no braggadocio. He knows he is going against a terrific opponent. If you ask him whether or not he understands why he's been so heavily favored, he will simply say, maybe now they believe in me. Sugar Ray Leonard leaving his dressing room, ready to walk through this packed arena and come on in. 23 years of age, 5'10", weight 146, 25 victories, 16 of them by KO. Those are the simple statistics on this kid. What they don't state is what has happened with him and the American public. An apparently growing love affair because he seems so clean and is so clean and he has so much personality. The smile flashes. There are similarities, of course, to other fighters in the past. Angelo Dundee, his manager, will tell you he uppercuts in the manner of Basilio, has lateral movement in the manner of Dupas. The jab operates like Pastrano's. But then, as he's having trouble getting through the crowd, but then there are those who have begun to say maybe he can become another Sugar Ray Robinson. Although, as Dundee is quick to point out, Robinson was a different style of fighter. He's now coming down through the crowd, surrounded by the inevitable entourage who are protecting him from the crowd. An enormously popular young man. There's Angie Dundee leading the way. And nobody's kidding Dundee either. He knows what a tough opponent Sugar Ray Leonard goes against tonight. We'll be talking about Wilfred Benitez as he comes into the arena. Sugar Ray Leonard and the crowd reacting as he pulls a little bit of the Ali stuff. We'll be back in a moment. 14, having lied about his age to the officials. He fought in the World Boxing Championships, and he was, in fact, a child prodigy as a fighter. He was so brilliant even then. Every move, not just good, but in many ways spectacular. A marvel at slipping the right hand. And if you stay in front of him, and he's against the ropes, he'll destroy you with his counter punches. Though he is not on balance a knockout puncher. There's a kind of sneer to Wilfred's face, and I don't think there is any love lost between these two men. We're close to the start of the fight. We'll be right back.
And Ray Bullitt. The referee is Carlos Padilla.
Back live in Las Vegas, the tale of the tape. Leonard at 23. Benitez only 21. Seems like Wilfred, as I told you, started at 14, has been fighting forever. Ray Leonard, who hasn't faced the caliber of opponent on balance that Wilfred Benitez has. But in his most recent fights, especially when he KO'd Andy Price in the very first round, a man who had beaten Cuevas and Palomino, he started gaining respect. Wilfred Benitez, as he is trying to psych out Sugar Ray Leonard. He failed to appear at the weigh-in. Dundee had his fighter go ahead with the weigh-in. Benitez was weighed in later. This is a wild scene. Look at it. One really has to wonder how in the world they made Benitez such an underdog.
The officials assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for the next bout of the evening. The judges are Art Lurie, Harry Gibbs, and Ray Solis. The referee is Carlos Padilla. This is a 15-round contest for the WBC Welterweight Championship. Introducing in the blue corner, fighting out of Palmer Park, Maryland, undefeated in 25 professional fights, a very popular Sugar Ray Leonard. And in the red corner, the WBC Welterweight Champion. He fights out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, weighing in at 144 1/2 pounds, the very popular Wilfred Benitez. 15 rounds of boxing.
Well, we're about ready for the start of this fight that has captured in anticipation the imagination of this country's sports fans, because I guess primarily of that young man, but this young man is a great fighter. He fights at the level of the game, according to how good the opponent is. The action begins in round one. Leonard's body rangier than Benitez. Benitez stockier, especially through the midriff and up at the shoulders. And in the thighs, too, for that matter. First round action. And they are both very wary. to be expected. In Ray Leonard's corner, Dundee, Dave Jacobs, Jenks Morton. And in Benitez's corner, Gregorio Benitez, the father, who said for $200,000 in a recent magazine piece, he wouldn't sit in his son's corner, criticized his son for not training. I'll tell you, Benitez is sure trained for this one. He has never been in such superb condition. The key to this fight, from Leonard's point of view, is the left jab that you just saw, keeping it in Benitez's face. Right there, he scored again. But you must be so careful with Benitez. His counter-punching ability is superb. First round action. Minute left to go in the round. Benitez. And Leonard. The first evidence there of Benitez counterpunching. Leonard with the apparently stronger punch. Most ringside experts are agreed on that. Benitez out of action the past 7 months. Some figure that may hurt him. The end of the round at hand.
Don't let that bum give it up. Fight for that. Ignore him.
He's looking good, Peter. Looking good.
You're the pro. He's nothing. He's half nuts. You'll stiffen him. What's your hook will stiffen him? Off your jab. Off your jab. Hit it. All right. Párate. Sube esa mano. Sube esa mano. Muévete. Muévete, porque me quita la velocidad.
Back live, round 2, just getting underway. Should have heard Dundee talking to Sugar Ray Leonard in the corner just above me between rounds. Don't let that bum stare you down. Let him have it back. You'll stiffen him. You'll stiffen him with the left hook off the jab. But that's Dundee talking, Leonard's manager. A different story in the other corner, of course. The referee is Carlos Padilla, internationally famous. Refereed the Thriller in Manila. Has no voice in the scoring, 10-point must system of scoring. The 3 judges, Art Lurie here of Nevada, Harry Gibbs of England, and Ray Solis of Mexico. They're the ones who score the fight. Mandatory 8 count, knockdowns, no standing 8 count, 3 knockdown rule waived, and so we go. The nuts and bolts of the match, the ring, 19-6 by 19-6. Good sized ring. We have already been through 2 exceptional fights. Nito Angiafermo with a late rally, earning a draw against Marvin Hagler and thus retaining his championship, middleweight champion of the world, both WBA and WBC versions. And then, of course, as we watch these fighters, Harold Johnson, 11th round TKO. Marvin Johnson, 11th round TKO of Victor Galindez, who quite frankly showed little movement throughout the fight. and fought much of the fight against the ropes. But Johnson, trained at Fort Bragg, looked just terrific. Now back to this second round action. And the fighters continue well. Sugar Ray Leonard in the light trunks. Wilfred Benitez in the dark. Benitez won the title January 14th of this year in San Juan, Puerto Rico, a fight we did. He won it decisive. Brilliant strategist that day. This is where, right now they're in ring center, but when you have Benitez against the ropes, that's the time to be wary of him. It's what happened to Palomino. The crowd mistook a slip by Benitez, but there was a left hand in there.
He's not ready. Yeah, but I want you, when you slide, I want the hook. I want that hook to flatten.
Open.
¿Qué pasó con ese? Ya pensé que ya.
Con la mano abajo, con la mano abajo. Está dejando que te... Vamos. La fumada, súper, la fumada. Fumada. Está dejando tirar adelante. No puede aguar. Cuando tú pones el jab, mete jab y mete la mano abajo. ¿Tiene? Espera el costo, lo tiene que atacar para quitar la velocidad.
Round three. Benitez to the right of your screen. Leonard to the left. WBC World Welterweight title at stake. Benitez, the defending champion. First 2 rounds, cautious, fighting. Any edge would seem to have gone in those rounds to Sugar Ray Leonard. Third man in the ring, Carlos Padilla. Veteran referee has worked some of the big ones. Remember, the left jab, the key from Leonard's point of view. Leonard's hand and foot speed, sometimes dazzling. But Benitez beginning to throw his own left in this round. Third round action. For all the marbles, as Ray is wont to say. Benitez's jab is not what you would call slow by a long shot, but as he throws his left, he has a tendency, Benitez, to dip his head, and that's where I think with a minute to go in the third round you'll see Leonard's fight strategy emerge with the uppercuts. Leonard, again, the swiftness of the hands. As great a fighter as Benitez is, he has not met any fighter with this young man's speed of hands and feet. That's what he's going to have to learn to cope with. Because if he gets Leonard against the ropes, right there, a quick left, astonishingly. And Benitez unhappy with himself. It came from nowhere. a smile from Benitez. He doesn't seem hurt. We're coming close to the end of the round. Just stunned, kind of sheepish over falling prey to that left.
Tiene el cubo sucio. Para que está duro, la marcha a la derecha. La marcha a la derecha. Adentro de la nariz. Está buscando. Tiene que empaquetarse abajo. Tiene que pegar el golpe abajo. Tiene que pegar el golpe abajo. Golpe abajo. Golpe abajo y con cuenta. Entonces ya, túmbalo con esa mano. Viene. Tiene que pegar abajo. Y tratar de pegar.
Back live, seizes Ballas, Ports Pavilion. Fourth round underway. One knockdown, the third round. A quick, short, left by Sugar Ray Leonard. Flooring Benitez, embarrassing. He tried to laugh and stare it off. You saw that just at the end of the round before the commercial break. But when he got back to his corner, there was blood coming from the mouth. So now the champion knows that Leonard is for real. There's an intense concentration about Leonard in this fight and has been before it. He had taken to some degree to posturing within the ring. And he had become kind of brash in his statements, a la Ali, but not before this fight. A change of attitude. Fourth round action. Again, that quick left of Leonard's getting in there. Leonard, with quicker hands, getting the better of the exchange. I was saying at the beginning, Leonard's left the key from his point of view. It is still a very young fight. He's also saying when he's against the ropes, he won't do what Palomino did, stay in front of Benitez. He learned lateral movement at Montreal from great coaches like Sarge Johnson and Pat Nappy. You saw the Benitez right. Minute left in the fourth round. And a rightful caution, because Ray had half slung Benitez's body. This fight, in the interest and anticipation that surrounded it, harkened back to the old days of boxing as the two go at it in a brisk exchange. When the lighter weight classifications captured people. The days of the Canzonares and the Rosses and the McLaughlins and so many other great ones. Sugar Ray Robinson, Carmen Basilio, LaMotta.
Okay. All right. Here's the body shot. Okay. All right. Now they hit him with the body shot. When you hit him with the right hand, the kidney shot. Won't be happy with the kidney shot. Por eso, vamos a marcar de eso. ¿Qué quiere? Eso es la nariz. Se está cansando ese tipo. Dame el agua, dame el agua. Toma, está cansando. Dura los brazos. Y le da los palos abajo. No le ha dado los palos. No le ha dado los palos, ¿viste? Se me agrega, estoy aquí. Dura los brazos. Dame acá, no se lo ponga todavía. Dura los brazos, gracias. Repita por la boca y aprieta en área. Aprieta atrás. Vamos. Aprieta aquí, repita por la boca. No. Ahí.
Duro a los brazos.
Espera,
Ponle
que
ya a la derecha.
The bell has just sounded for round 5. The right nostril of Benitez worked on between rounds. Blood from it. It had been bloodied a couple of weeks ago in training by a sparring partner. May have been rendered vulnerable. Leonard's left has been working effectively. Fans in the arena who are from Puerto Rico are just rooting for Benitez, chanting for Benitez. None of the fans earlier were chanting for Vito Antuofermo. Still fight with caution. Let's see if Leonard goes down to the belly, or tries to. They have Leonard camp has been intensely studying films of Benitez's fights over the recent weeks, of course. And likewise, Benitez has been studying Leonard. Trying to land with his left, throwing it, but not landing with it. Not often, anyway. We have had one knockdown, the flash knockdown in the 3rd round, that I think embarrassed Wilfred more than hurt him. Benitez fighting better in this round. Using his left. End of the round at hand. Better round for Benitez.
Agua, dame el agua. Pon ese cubo siempre para el medio.
Dame el agua, dame el agua. Dame el de eso de la
Pon ese
nariz.
cubo para el medio, pon ese cubo para el medio. Tú lo tienes ahí, no lo tienes.
Right, right.
Ahora que usted.
Agua, agua, agua.
Agua, carajo.
Agua por dónde.
No, por ahí no. ¿Por qué me
Toma,
Toma, Gregory, toma.
Le tiene que dar 2 palos, le tiene que dar 2 palos, le tiene que dar 2 palos al cuerpo, al cuerpo, al cuerpo.
Métele 2 palos ahí al cuerpo, rápido, rápido. 2 palos al cuerpo.
6th round action beginning. Wilfred Benitez now with an almost constant sneer or leer on his face, but giving the impression of coming on in the 4th round. His own left beginning to work. Looks longer in its action than Leonard's. Apparently he lost none of his confidence when he suffered that flash knockdown in the 3rd round from a Leonard left. He's a very cautious Ray Leonard, as you can see. He's having trouble getting past Benitez's left, Leonard is. That's his problem right now. 2 minutes to go in this round. Now, what Benitez has to be cautious about is a Leonard flurry from nowhere, when those dazzlingly quick hands suddenly deliver 7, 8, maybe 10 unanswered blows. Right now, and last round, Leonard not able to mount an offense against the left of Benitez. A minute left to go in the round. Should this fight go the distance? That was a good left by Leonard. You saw the Benitez attempted a counterpunch, which only glanced. Leonard has never gone past 10 rounds. Keep that in mind. Benitez has a cut. He has a severe cut. Look at this. The two touch gloves. The fight continues. There is also blood from Benitez's mouth. The inside of his mouth. And it's not the blood flowing from the forehead. Now Benitez knows he may be in trouble and he wants to get at Leonard. But as the round ends, Leonard counted.
Mira, cógete. Apretado, que la pomada lo cierra, apriétalo. Apretado, hoyo. Dale acá eso, avanza. Dame el mouthpiece. Dame el mouthpiece, apretado. A que la sangre se vaya adentro, apretado. Dame el mouthpiece. Acá el mouthpiece, vamos. Vamos. ¿Qué tenemos yo aquí? Toma el mouthpiece. Vamos. Mouthpiece, carajo. Dame el agua. Vamos. Siempre, carajo.
Seventh round action underway. Blood flowing again from Benitez's forehead. Terribly dangerous when that happens, because clearly it can endanger the vision. The blood pouring down, quite possibly into the eyes. And then, of course, the blood within the mouth is a problem because it endangers breathing. That blood is coming right now down the bridge of the nose, and the nose itself, and into the mouth. It'd be a shame if the fight ended on the basis of a butt, the two heads meeting, as you saw. And Benitez senses that he's got to strike, and strike quickly. In trying to do so, he could very well leave himself open. Now, of course, you know the butt rule. If this fight were to be stopped because of that butt, the fighter ahead in the scoring at the time of the stoppage wins the fight. Technical term is winner by technical decision. This is the seventh round. Leonard right lead suddenly. A frequent tactic of Leonard's. Leonard now beginning to throw more Leonard. The fourth and the fifth, he had grown either very wary or was pacing himself, or Benitez was making him look back. Seventh round action. Such a beautiful counterpuncher, that Benitez. As quickly as he receives a blow, he somehow seems to be able to get back in there. Right now, he's in deep trouble. His eyes are squinting, the blood flowing in from the forehead.
Son tres arriba. Vamos, quítate de ahí. Vamos, métele. Métele. Ponle presión otra vez. Ponle presión otra vez. El no pide. Ponle presión. No pide, olvídate. Dámelo. Venga, venga. Toma. Ponle presión. No, hombre, esta es la buena. No pide. Toma. Lávalo. ¿Entiendes? Salte de ahí, salte de ahí. No, si está, hay tres arriba, hay tres arriba. Tacho, sí. ¿Se te jodió esa mano? Seguro. Tiene que meter la derecha por debajo. ¿Se te jodió la mano? Sí, pero olvídate. ¡El no pick! No pick. Dáselo, tómalo.
Back live in Las Vegas, the bell for round 8 is a measure of Sugar Ray Leonard's respect for Wilfred Benitez. That Benitez hampered throughout the last round by the flow of blood from the butt, which he received in an earlier round. Despite being so hampered, Leonard is still not throwing caution to the winds. Saw what Benitez just did. He stuck his tongue out. I don't know what purpose really that serves. Interestingly, there are fans screaming, "Pick it up, Ray." I think Leonard is following his corner's instructions. We're a minute into round 8. That Leonard right got in there. And it stung. The blood opened again in the forehead. Cut from the butt. We'd like to alert our local stations along the line that at the end of this round, we will be taking a station break. Right now, look at that left of Benitez's that has, in a sense, kept Leonard at bay. But yet, 20 seconds ago, Leonard with his own flurry. Benitez's corner seems to have helped that forehead somewhat. It's not streaming down the way it did in the last round. Now, Dave Jacobs is screaming at Leonard to pick up the pace. Now, you see the countdown in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Just saw. Well, we'll get to it later. We'll return with more boxing action after this from our local stations.
Papi, aprieta, ponle presión. Mira, ponelo con la derecha. Ponle presión. Ponle presión, ponle ahí. Presión, ponle. Ponle presión. Mira, baja esto, papi. Toma. Para adelante. Cortadito, Wilfred. Esa derecha de la costilla. Por debajo. Por debajo y sube arriba. Huele agua. ¡No! Está muerto ese hombre.
We're back live. This is round 9. It has been a fight without the excitement I expected, quite frankly, because it's been too warily fought. There has been one unfortunate butt suffered by Benitez that caused a heavy flow of blood. At the moment, that flow has been stilled. There has been one knockdown, that a flash knockdown from a quick, sharp left by Leonard against Benitez. It was in the 3rd round. Crowd probably expected Leonard to do a lot more punching, to throw a lot more of his dazzling flurries. But you don't do that against a fighter like Benitez. You've got to be careful. You can leave yourself too open, especially when the champion is one of the best of all counter punchers. Low, the blood is flowing again from Benitez's head. This is 9th round action. Right there, Benitez with a counter right. Benitez getting to Leonard there. Doesn't seem to me that Leonard has taken advantage, as he might have, of that flow of blood in Benitez's head. Now Leonard did something that I wondered about earlier. He went down to the belly. And sure enough, Dave Jacobs leaps to his feet and says, go to the body. But Benitez is scoring in this one. He may have Sugar Ray in trouble. Yes, indeed, he does. This is a fighter, this Benitez. Too much overlooked. John McPhee's great book, Levels of the Game. He wrote about Arthur Ashe and Clark Ravener in tennis. A good right by Leonard. And suddenly Benitez was hurt. Tried to laugh it off, but he was hurt. So that came from nowhere. Well, the point I was making is Benitez fights according to the level of the game. Ray using the right lead.
You're hurting the body, John. All right.
All right, now let's look at some of that action in slow motion. The blood on Leonard's pants, of course, Benitez's blood. Leonard apparently unmarked. See that left of Benitez getting in there, but suddenly rebounding. That right stung Benitez. He laughed it off, or tried to, and he still is. He still is. Interesting study in human psychology is we are now awaiting the start of the 10th round. In the last minute of that round, maybe 50 seconds, Leonard started to throw leather. Let's see if he can keep it up. But remember, Benitez's own left has been very effective in keeping Leonard at bay in this fight. 10th round action. The corner is doing an effective job in stilling that flow of blood between rounds from Benitez's forehead. And there was Benitez scoring well with his left. And again, Ray's going to have to figure that out from his point of view. That hurt. That right of Leonard's hurt Benitez. Now the right is becoming more effective. We had felt that Leonard's left would be the key, and now he's fighting smarter. He's going down to the belly. As you see, Benitez's counterpunching. You can't stay in front of him. You've got to be a moving target. Otherwise, Benitez will kill you with that counterpunching. You know what people forget about Leonard is, because not that much is really known about amateur boxing, many of the fighters he beat at Montreal would be, in the American sense, professional fighters. And when you beat a Valery Lemasov, the great southpaw from the Soviet, and Ulrich Bayer, the great veteran of East Germany, and finally an Andres Aldama of Cuba, you have beaten some very, very fine fighters and garnered an experience that you can't measure. Now Ray having a little fun, threatening the bolo punch. Blood pouring out again from Benitez's forehead. All right, we're counting down to the end of the 10th round.
I can't get any lower, okay? I'm on my knees now. Ponle presión por ahí para abajo, Wilfred. All I got now is lights. I'm shooting straight up into the lights. Can't see anything. Okay, now. Go to work. Hit him in the body. Don't shoot back up, please. Keep your own pace. Mueve de aquí arriba. Wilfred, ganando estos 4 rounds, ganamos la pelea. No mire para allá, Wilfred. Ponle Mopi. Mopi. Vamos, Radal, vamos, Radal. Ganando estos 4 rounds, ganamos la pelea. Mira, se le mueve con el jab para adelante y para atrás.
Round 11. Sugar Ray Leonard has never gone past the 10th round before. Benitez has. 5 times Benitez has had to go 15 rounds. That was hurt. I mean, Benitez was hurt. He continues to laugh it off, at least try to, but he was hurt. Dundee is yelling, you got him. Go after him, you got him. maybe. Dave Jacobs is yelling, dig to the body, to the side. Everybody has advice, but it's not the critic, it's the man in the arena. This is the 11th round, and Leonard quickly established the flow of it with a right that shocked Benitez. Hurt him, doubled him up. Benitez grows a little wild and senses that he must do something, and do it quickly. Seeking to measure him, still being careful, delivered a right and quickly covered up, not wanting to leave himself open to that Benitez counterpunching technique. One man, 21, but with the knowledge of a man of 30 in boxing. That's Benitez. The other, 23, but with a far greater knowledge than he was given credit for. And Benitez staggered a bit, hurt a bit again, and Dave Jacobs up to his feet, the mouthpiece out. Leonard trying to polish Benitez off. And there is pain in Benitez's eyes. You can tell when a fighter is hurt. When you've been on the beat a lot of years and you're properly positioned at ringside, you can tell. And there is pain in Benitez's face. And Leonard trying to put him away. That was Dave Jacobs banging on the ring apron, screaming to the body. But the great professional that Benitez is comes back with his own counter punches. These two men are professionals in the purest sense of the word. It is a lesson in boxing skills to see these two men. And Benitez got up to the head and caught Leonard, but did not hurt him. Benitez is now out of trouble. The bell for round 12. We're at ringside live in the Sports Pavilion, Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada. The 11th round was a big round for Leonard. He devastated Benitez, had him hurt. There was agony etched in his face, but Benitez, the great professional, fought out of it, and by the end of the round was out of trouble. Too many people, I think, giving Leonard too much advice from the corner. Dundee telling him to go to the head, Jacobs telling him to go to the belly. You do nothing but confuse your own fighter that way. 12th round action. Oh, to the stomach, and that is hurting Benitez. Again, that left to the belly. That's the way not only to drain the strength out of a fighter with blows like that. There's Benitez with those quick left jabs, hanging in there. Flow of blood from the butt back in the 6th round, temporarily stilled again. But Leonard is now going to the midriff. In the two earlier fights, what a fight that Antifermo fight was against Hagler. With a late rally, Antifermo got a draw, thus returning his middleweight crown. And then in New Orleans, a brilliantly trained Marvin Johnson scored a TKO over Victor Galindez. Didn't seem, quite frankly, like the old Galindez, taking nothing away from Johnson. TKO, Johnson, the new WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, and now this. One knockdown in the fight by Leonard against Benitez. Third round, a flash left. Embarrassed Benitez more than it hurt him. Less than a minute to go in the 12th round. Didn't take away Wilfred's confidence, but his confidence was gone last round. Leonard really took him apart. Coming down, as you can see, to the end of round 12. So Leonard has now gone 12 rounds for the first time, or almost so. A right by Benitez, his own right lead that caught Leonard.
Have 9 minutes, son. Please don't go to sleep. Okay. Don't go to sleep, please. Don't. You need these match free. You go to your fight, didn't you? Yeah. All right. Set it up. You 4 goals. You can go 9 minutes, can't you? Yeah. All right. You go all night long for a title. Deep breath.
Tienes que tirar y no puedes hacer aguante. Si tú pones el jab, entonces vamos, toma. Coge el aire.
Tienes que atacar adentro, pegado de él.
Back live in Las Vegas, round 13 coming up. Benitez continues in that odd way to smile, flashing the mouthpiece, which was knocked out of his mouth back in the 11th round when Leonard put on that devastating and dazzling display. Remember, you are watching two exceptionally talented fighters. They understand defense. They understand how to slip punches. They know how to use a ring. Good left in that exchange by Leonard. Benitez tasted that flash left, I called it, in the 3rd round when he was floored for the only knockdown in the fight. That was a dangerous tactic by Benitez. He was briefly staggered again. Left himself open as he dropped his left for the Leonard right. Leonard trying to measure him. Round 13. Benitez beckoning him on. But now this is what, well, Leonard has to be careful because it's when he's against the ropes that Benitez can be devastating, as he proved against Palomino in the 7th round of that bout last January 14th. Leonard up with the left and scoring heavily. Leonard 20 and counting down. And this, the 13th round. On left again. Leonard now being cautious. Dundee had said to him between rounds, don't go to sleep on us, don't go to sleep on us. But at the same time, you don't want to throw caution to the winds. See that overhand chopping right? That's a very effective blow now in the later rounds by Leonard against Benitez. Now we're counting down toward the end of this, the 13th round. And Benitez's left, look at it, is being kept lower and lower as fatigue begins to overtake him. Watch his left. You see, it's down there. And Leonard can come over that with the right. Coming to the end of the round. That was a good left there.
Fight. People stop. Don't hold. Stop on the one punch. The punch up front. You get me? Spit it out. We got 6 minutes. Don't stay enough for the dressing room, baby. Tight. Okay? Yeah. You got to stop posing with this guy. You got to hit him body shots. A left shot to the body is beautiful. Okay? You got to let that thing hang. I'm right.
Round 14, live from Las Vegas, Nevada. WBC World Welterweight title at stake. Ray Leonard to the left, Benitez to the right. Now with the back, growingly torch. Those of you in the appropriate time zones, the local news will be coming up right after this fight. Between rounds, Leonard's corner. Keep going to the belly. That's where you've weakened. We'll be going to Leonard's corner at the end of this round. Benitez trying still to come back, fighting gamely, intelligently, victimized by a butt that caused a heavy flow of blood from the forehead, down, sometimes into the eyes, sometimes into the mouth. Telling you again, there has been one knockdown, and now Leonard's beginning to open it up a little bit. Benitez throwing that left ceaselessly, but as you see, it doesn't have the distance. It's not scoring. Leonard trying to pick his spots. He had never gone past 10 before. He is now into the 14th and shows no sign of fatigue, or little, if any. That was a good left, gotten in by Benitez. Excellent, sharp, fought Leonard. There's Leonard with his flurry, and you see again the blood beginning to flow down the forehead of Benitez. There's Leonard with the flurry to the belly. I believe Dave Jacobs was right. He was the one who kept telling Ray, go to his belly, as Ray did again there. And there is a desperation now in Benitez, trying to get through, trying to score. But Wilfred, the brilliant boxer, that hurt Leonard. He hurt him with a shot to the belly. That's what I mean.
Next round. This fight is very, very close. This fight is very, very close. You got to fight like an animal. Don't back down. Take it to him. Standing. We need this. You got to take this. You got to take this. Looks like the wind is pushing back. Right. Thank you. Hey, go to work. Go to work. That's all it is.
El último,
Remember Kenny Norton's mistake in the third fight against Ali? He didn't fight the full 3 minutes. So Dundee was telling Leonard, you got to keep after him. He's fighting you close. Push him back and keep after him. 15th and final round. Benitez on his toes, trying to show movement, but Benitez caught with a left. And immediately the flow of blood again from the forehead. And Leonard starts to open up. And it's Benitez whose head went down into the other fighter's shoulder and who held on. 15th and final round. "45 seconds into it. That chopping right of Leonard's did not score well there. It has, though, throughout the fight on a number of occasions. Benitez trying the counterpunch, fight back, but doesn't figure at this point to be too effective. Leonard trying to, you know, that's only the first time he threw an uppercut that I thought we'd see much more of throughout the fight. Benitez trying to come on now. Benitez scoring. And Benitez with a good left. Earlier it caught Leonard with a right. And Leonard felt it. We're down to the minute 20 area remaining in the fight. Two great young professional fighters. Masters of their craft. Look at them going at it. Standing toe-to-toe. Leonard trying to chop Benitez down. Benitez face drowning in pain. Leonard going after him. Yes, he can go 15 rounds. He as sure has proved it today. Unless, by a miracle, he gets knocked out. And yes, Benitez can go 15 rounds. And there's got to be a winner. There's got to be a loser. But these young men are fighters. There, he got him down again. It seemed almost inevitable. Look at him. Rubbery leg, wobbling, looking at the crowd, showing the mouthpiece. All right, let him do it. It doesn't dilute the courage he's shown or the skills he's shown. Maybe now they won't call Sugar Ray Leonard a hype. There it is. He stopped the fight. He stopped the fight. And there is a new world welterweight champion. He comes from Palmer Park, Maryland. His name is Ray Leonard. Doesn't that shot matter to you? Tears of joy from Leonard and absolute grace from Wilfred Benitez. Don't forget, tonight and every night, as long as the situation in Iran remains critical, ABC News will bring you a special report immediately following your local news. There's the graphic. All right, here we've got Sugar Ray Leonard, the new WBC World Welterweight Champion, coming down. We've got to move very quickly, Ray, but right there is the camera. First, congratulations. Second, express your respect for Benitez.
Oh, Howard, I felt that he's a great champion. I knew he had a lot of experience, but I wanted the belt so bad. I'd like to take this time to thank all sponsors of Sugar Ray Leonard, and I'd like to extend a special prayer and console to the family of Mr. Willie Classic.
Did he ever hurt you?
Yes, here with a good left hook. One time we butted heads and so like got me a little dazed, but I was so determined, Howard, really. this is the greatest moment of my life other than Montreal.
You realized in the 11th round you were devastating.
I knew I had to pull it out because I saw it was a direct fight between Hagler and Vito and Inferno. I know for a fact that the champion with a lot of class.
Did you think it was a close fight in your mind?
Well, I knew I had the edge. I felt I had control. A couple rounds I gave to him because he did show me that he had the experience of a great champion. But I tell you, I really feel great, and I can go home with the belt around my waist.
Congratulations to you. Take a rest. Good luck. And don't be cocky. Okay, that's the story. Sugar Ray Leonard, and it has been a great fight night. First, Anna Fermo with a late rally, gaining a draw, and thus retaining his middleweight crown. And then Marvin Johnson with that stunning left hook knockout, TKO of Galindez in the 11th round. And now this. The fight stopped just before the official end of it. So, WBC World Welterweight Championship fight was brought to you by Natural Light Beer, brewed with only natural ingredients, nothing artificial. The difference is what we put in and don't put in. Travel arrangements made through. Promotional fee paid by United Airlines. More people fly United to Hawaii than any other airline. This has been a presentation of the leader, ABC Sports, bringing you exclusive coverage when the...